In the previous demonstrations, we've finished our paper strip sculpture that looks something like this. Remember we talked about sculptures should look good from all sides, and you made your base and glued everything onto your base, and you've glued all the pieces together so that they're nice and solid and stable. You should have 2 spheres of your A and B color. You should have 2 cubes of your A and B color, 2 tetrahedrons of your A and B color, 2 rectangles of your A and B color, and then 1 tetrahedron and 1 rectangle that's a C color, something different. So you can see my C color is my yellow here and down here. Okay, once you've finished all that, if you have extra time, here are some other kind of fun things you could do to add to your sculpture. You could take your A and B colors, and your extra things should most likely be your A and B colors, but you could mix and match too if you want to take your C color and put it in as well. Take 2 strips, okay, and you're going to glue them together at a right angle like that. Okay, so it makes an L shape. Let's do that like an L shape. There we go. Do it like an L shape like that. Okay, and you're going to glue this piece down just like that. And then you're going to do what I like to call an accordion fold, or like an overlapping fold. And you're going to take this one purple piece and fold it over the top of the red like that. And then you're going to take the red and fold it down on top of the purple. And then the purple back to the right on top of the red, red back up on top of the purple. And if you just keep doing this pattern, always folding them on top of the previous one, you're going to get a really cool thing. The only problem that I run into with students is once they start doing this, if they don't hold it down on the table like I'm showing you how, they start picking it up and wrapping it around the back. And if you do that, it won't work out. So you really have to keep it on the table and just flip them one on top of the other. And if you do that, if you just keep it and hold it down on the table and flip it one on top of the other, that makes it really nice and simple because it's pretty straightforward in which way you should be folding it the next time around. And it also just, it's kind of easier to hold it that way, I feel. So I'm almost done here. The last couple flipped over the top. And once you're done folding these over and over and over and over, you'll come up with a really cool shape, but we're going to have to glue it first so that it stays careful. Once you get to the last time, you're going to take a little glue, and just like we learned in our other things, if you smooth it out a bit so that it touches everywhere, then it's going to glue better and quicker. Okay, and if you push that down and let it glue and let it sit for a minute, you then have this boingy kind of multicolored thing. Okay, you could take these and make more of them and attach them all together and have a big accordion. I like to call this an accordion because accordions go in and out. And then you can add this onto your sculpture somewhere. You could take one and make a super tall one and attach it all the way up to the top or over to a side. But I think it's just a really kind of fun way to add a little interesting something to your sculpture. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it to my sculpture. I'm going to put a little glue on the bottom here and a little glue on the top here. Okay, and I'm actually going to glue mine right underneath my yellow triangle, and I'm just going to glue it so that it actually touches my yellow tetrahedron, if I can get it to work. It might, it's going to end up pulling on my tetrahedron, so I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to glue it right down on the bottom here, just to kind of give a little different interest. Okay, so you can kind of see how that's glued on to the bottom there. Okay, the other thing that you can do is curly pieces of paper. And this is the hardest skill for first graders. And it involves your scissors and just a simple piece. Okay, and this is the hardest skill because you have to hold your scissors open, okay, and then you have to pull the paper across your scissors. So number one, you have to hold the scissors right in your hand. You have to open them up, and then you have to put your thumb on. Now, the scissors has a beveled edge and then just a flat edge here. The bevel is where it like bends, it curves down a little bit. And you need to hold it so that you're pulling against the bevel edge. You're pulling this direction like that rather than pulling it from, say, this direction. It doesn't work quite as well. So what you got to do is you have to keep your scissors a little bit angled, and you want to keep your thumb on the sharp side there, and then you're going to pull. Now you don't have to press really hard with your thumb. You don't have to press really hard, but you want to hold it firmly so that the paper can't slide out. Then as you pull, you're going to have to get it started, and you just pull the paper like this, and you notice how the paper stays right underneath my thumb the whole time. It doesn't, whoops, slide off to one way or the other. And you pull like that, and the paper will curl up. Okay, and that what you can do with it then is you can then make spirals, and the paper will hold the spiral better. And so once you've done a couple of these, you can glue them together. I'll just do another couple ones quick, and I've done it enough times that I can do it quickly like that. You might have to practice it a little bit and be careful so that you don't cut yourself, but if you do it correctly, you should be able to make a few of them and then glue them together. So I'm just going to make a few more here. Okay, one more, and I'll make another red one. And then you can kind of make what I like to think of as a roller coaster or a spirally just staircase or something. I'm going to take these and glue them together. So I'm going to get a little bit of glue on the flat ends here and glue them together. Okay, there's one. I'm going to glue this one onto here. I want it to go out this way. And so at this point you can kind of readjust the paper so that it can bend kind of all the same way. And you might have to recurve some of the places where you glue. And I want this one to curve that way. So I'm going to put the glue here. Okay, and stick this one here. No, here. Oh, we got it on the wrong side. I'm going to leave that there and do it here. Sorry. Reworking it, making a mistake there, so I have to think outside the box and fix my own mistake. Now I've got this nice long curly swirly piece. I'm going to drape this kind of, let's see if I can drape it over the top and have it kind of come down so it's got a curly effect all the way over. So I'm going to glue it down here on this corner. Okay, I'm going to have it line up with the edge like that. Just hold it down there, and then I'm going to drape this one over the top and glue it down on the bottom over here. Put some glue on the bottom here, smooth it out, and then I'm going to glue it down to my black base there. So as you see, that adds a different feeling and a different aspect to it, because that's one curly line as opposed to all the straight edges we have. So those are some extra fun things you can do. You can do that one little accordion fold, or you can make that part of your sculpture, or you can do the curly ribbon-like paper and make that part of your sculpture as well. So when you're done, you have to have all of these that we already read through once. These curlies and accordion folds are extra if you've got time. They're fun things to put on, but you don't have to do them. And when you're done, your sculpture should look something like that.